Welcome to Rangers Radio.
What a goal by Steenie, followed that up, and whoop, in it goes.
Why not give the show a call on 01413561972.
Rangers open the scoring, after Tawdry, 12 minutes of the match remaining.
What a sneak.
A stunner from Kenny Miller, rifles it into the roof of the net.
Or send Fox a friend request on Skype at Rangers Radio Online.
He's gone into the middle, McSwegan's in there too. Will he come for McSwegan? There's his header, and he scores! What a substitution! Running inside, has he got it? Left, flies in! He scores! Good ball! Scores for Rangers!
Nacho Novo with one kick of the ball to take Rangers to Manchester. Rangers are coming! The Scots are heading for Manchester, and you know what? Manchester may not be big enough.
Remember, it's all about the Rangers.
Well, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Joining myself, Fox, here on the panel is the one and only Bridgeman and Big Ulster, who struggled to get home from the studio for last night. How we doing, gentlemen?
I'm doing very well, guys. Cold, but doing well.
Oh, it's been a long, hard journey into the studio tonight, I'll tell you that. Can I just say a big good evening to the boys in the lobby and all the Rangers fans in the lobby and all the Rangers fans all over the world. A big good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Very cold indeed. Welcome.
Could you elaborate on this story that Fox is spreading about you, Bridge? Make your way in. Something to do with your wife's tights on.
Ah, well, you never know your luck, eh?
This is what Fox has been saying. Is there any truth?
It's most assuredly untrue, but by God, I'll tell you, it's cold enough to do that, I'll tell you.
I knew some guys done that in years, but... How are you, Big Ulster?
See,
On you go, Bridge.
I was going to say, see if you did something like that and the guys got windy. Oh, man. Your life's no your own, is it? You're absolutely knackered. Reputation's shattered, you know.
Finished. How we doing, Big Ulster?
Doing well, boys. Doing very well. We finally got the beast from the east has hit us this morning. So we're a day after, is a day late from the boys in Glasgow. We got it bad yesterday, so it's hit us today.
Well,
but,
as a storm, it's blighted a lot of people's lives. The beast for the east.
I've done that before, exactly.
You know,
but people like Bridge, man, look at that commitment, getting out there and getting in the studio. That's fantastic, Bridge. Well done.
He should have been a Mountie, that man.
Can't be helped.
He always gets his man.
Should have been a Mountie. I love it. I love it, pal.
Anyway, we're looking for people to take part in the show this evening. Well, we've obviously got a few things to discuss. Briefly, I may add, because we're no experts and we'll just try discuss it and get out of the way. Obviously, there's been a couple of things happened. No charges with Green and Ahmed about the fraudulent purchase of our club. I think there's a few technicalities involved, and so there was no charges and the thing died a death. That's what it looks as if it's all dead in the water now, Bridgeman.
Yeah, it's and tragedy of tragedies. All these people who had their grubby fingers in the till and took all the money out of Rangers, managed to get it siphoned out, all the money the fans put in, all the shareholders put in, everything, and left us at a mere shell, and the share price just plummeted. I'll never forget that boy Wallace turning in and telling us, and Foxy was at the meeting at the AGM, and it was absolutely freezing sitting up in that stand, and they were out on a platform, and he was telling us, give me 120 days and we'll get this sorted out and we'll come back to you. And when he came back, he says, cupboard's bare, nothing there, no money, nothing. And that's what they left us with.
I mean, there was a lot of
people. Company.
I mean, I don't know what to cast aspersions in people's character we don't know, but there was players taking big money at the club as well that weren't justified it, you know. We were playing against
I think
bakers and candlestick makers, mate, and we were paying thousands and thousands, literally tens of thousands of pounds a week to people. You know, and the money was getting out faster than it was coming in. Plus, people with their nose off.
But I think, Oxford, I think we need to realise that we had ended up paying executive directors some between £300,000 and £500,000 a year.
Aye.
And they were only in the job 2 and 3 months, and then they were away with a year's salary.
Aye.
To pay as a payoff.
No bad job if you can get it.
It's just as great. When we asked them about 5 of them, it's just shocking. Sorry, pal, I didn't mean to drag it down.
So, look, if anybody wants to call in about that, if anybody great thoughts on it, we'd be welcome to hear from you in 01413561972 or join us at Skype at rangersradio.online, where Fox and Old School Blue will bring into the show because the technical department are having a meeting tonight, Ulster.
They're having a meeting, yep. I hear they're even out at the start of the show. They were out before it started. Gritting the studio and everything to make the roads clear for you to get in. So, great work them boys do.
I'll tell you what, I'm not going to the Christmas night out bridge. They can shove it.
Aye, they can. I agree with you, by the way. In fact, I don't think MD should go to it. Just leave the two to have their night out together. That's it.
Anyway, we've been joined by a caller. Evening, caller.
Good evening.
How are we doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you.
Is this your first time you've called?
I've called on before.
All right, I recognise the accent. Is it?
It's the guy from Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough fan, yeah. How's the weather your way? You getting it bad in the northeast?
Yes, it's getting about quite a lot of snow here. I've been stuck in all day because of this, but yeah. The thing I'm calling about was I'd like to speak about the next game against Falkirk.
Uh-huh.
I think it'll be a decent game because, obviously we're second in the Premiership and Coaston high the minute, just beating Hearts Midlothian at home, which was good. Falkirk, I mean, their stats are pretty decent. That they've won one of the last 2 games. They drew against Dumbarton their last game. Obviously, because it's a cup game, you can't underestimate any sides with it being cups. No matter which side it is, and it's a game that we can win because we've got a good enough team. And Falkirk, okay, they're a championship team, but it's still a game that Rangers are expected to win.
Yeah, we should. It's a game we should and we'll hopefully win if it goes ahead. That is, if it goes ahead. Bridgeman,
that's the other thing. Yeah, whether it goes ahead. Yeah, that's the other thing. Whether it goes ahead with whoever it is.
Can I ask your first name? What's your username? If you don't mind me asking.
Username on what?
On this. Are you on the site at all? No, are you just phoning in?
No, I'm just phoning in.
What should we call you? Means what should we call you, pal? Remember, it's in the internet.
My name's Dowell. I listen to you on Mixlr.
There you go. What was that again?
What's your name again? Could you say your name again?
Dowell.
Darryl.
Okay.
All right. On you go, Bridge. You take that, mate.
All right, I was just going to say Falkirk. Well, I'm not. I've always hated playing against Falkirk because they've always played well against us. They've always shown us up. If there's any weaknesses in our team, they've nearly always found it, and they've scored some absolutely superlative goals against us, and so enraging. And never to be forgotten was the time we were 2-0 up at their own stadium, and they absolutely pummeled us in the second half, 2-0 up, and we ended up losing 3-2. Yeah. And Falkirk gave us an awful doing. So I'm looking forward to the game, but at the same time, it's a bit of trepidation. I don't think they're the same team as they were then, and I don't think they've got the same players. They don't have the same manager, and I honestly believe Rangers will turn them over. But they nearly always give us a good game. They get somehow or other they manage to get their players up for it. So big game, Ibrox Stadium. I don't know how many fans are going to be there, given the weather and the fact it's a cup game. It might be a full stadium, but I doubt it. So
yeah,
looking forward to it nevertheless. I'm looking forward to it nevertheless. Falkirk are always a good team for me, and not that I like them, but they're always a good team playing football-wise and attacking.
I agree. I mean, Falkirk are a good team. They're very good with their shooting stats, and that's something we need to watch out. Rangers need to be very good in defence. If we don't defend well, then we are going to concede. And I think the important thing as well for us is to start off the better team. I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I think one of the ways that we're going to get a win past them is by starting off early and getting maybe a goal or two, inside the first 30 minutes or so.
If we play like we've done since Christmas time, I don't think we'll have any fear against Falkirk Ulster.
Well, that's true. First and foremost, hello, Darrell. It's my first time hearing you, mate, so it's good to have you on the show.
Hello.
I think you're right there about Falkirk. We've seen them in the past, and obviously in the championship. They are a good team, but as Bridge says, they aren't the same team as the team that we probably remember. But then again, we aren't the same team that we've pushed on a lot from them. But cup games can bring shocks, even to the best of times. We've seen Man City with a shock result to Wigan, so it can happen. But if we show them respect, and as you say, start the game off well, it's all about that first goal. If we get the first goal, I think it could be a long, long day for Falkirk. Playing some really good stuff at the minute. But that's been a problem for us this season. We haven't started games off well, but these last couple we've been on the front foot from the beginning, and if we carry that into the Falkirk game, Darrell, I don't think there should be much problems, but we have to turn up, obviously, and we have to continue the way we have been playing. Fingers crossed we'll get the result.
I mean, these cups matches that we always get, they're always tough ones. I mean, regardless of which team you're against. But the problem I find with us is when it gets towards the semi-final and the final, we seem to lose it against either Celtic or Aberdeen. And that's something that needs to stop. We need to start getting wins out with Celtic, which I know is the toughest team in Scotland at the minute. Obviously, they're high-flying. But we need to start winning our games against these bigger teams, because we seem to be only winning against smaller teams like Hearts and all them. But Aberdeen's a game that we can win, but it's mainly Celtic that's the problem.
If you take performance against the top six since since Christmas time, mate, we've drew with, shall we say, the beasts for the East. We drew with them, we beat Aberdeen, unluckily lost to Hibs in a controversial match, and then we beat Hearts quite comfortably. We're still to play Kilmarnock and Motherwell the next few weeks. We're the improving team, we're the form team in the league, and hopefully we can take that form into the cup, Darrell.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I totally agree with you. A question I want to ask you is, regarding if we end up playing against Celtic in the final, which if we even get to the final, we don't know who we're going to be up against yet. But if we make it to the final, could this be our year for cup wins? Because I know we've been unlucky in the past with getting beat in the finals and stuff, and mainly against Celtic. Do you think we could start winning it, maybe?
Well, we last won the cup in 2011. Am I right when I say that? 2011? 2010. Obviously, we've been on a journey. We've lost the final to Hibs. We were 2-1 up with minutes to go and managed to lose 2 goals. Bridge will remember that well. We were together.
Broken-hearted.
We've lost a few semi-finals. We've lost to Motherwell in the League Cup semi-final, Celtic in the League Cup semi-final, Celtic in last year's Scottish Cup, I believe. But we're an improving team, Darrell, and hopefully we can take it from strength to strength. Listen, mate, we've got some more callers coming in. Don't you be a stranger, and nice to hear from you again from the North East England, mate.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'll have to go, guys.
Right, thanks for the call, Darrell. Cheers, mate. Right.
No problem, mate.
Cheers.
Oh, it's good to have a new caller. Well,
yeah, he's been on before.
First time I've heard Darrell personally,
Yeah, we've been joined by the one and only Ibrox Loyal. How are we doing, Ibrox?
Evening trips.
Have you managed to get for the north east of the city to the south east of the city, mate?
I haven't, mate. As I say, we're snowed in, mate. Unfortunately, at some parts it's worse than others. First bus and everything, they've cancelled all services, mate, because the main thoroughfare between where I got to get to is still kind of locked up. So, unfortunately, I'm not getting there. But
all right, okay.
So pay your rates and put the buses on.
Aye.
Obviously, because you're not getting over, we've got to put up with Bridge, yeah?
Unfortunately, gentlemen, unfortunately.
Yeah, good to see you.
We could phone her up and complain.
Aye.
We should.
We
Shall we go back?
phone her up and complain. What's her number?
Right there. Yeah, that's phone. No, it's good to be here again, mate. To get into the studio tonight, I was trying to climb Mount Everest at times, but I'm finally here.
You managed it without getting a bus?
I scaled the Wild Heights, mate. It was a hard journey, but I got there in the end.
Oh well, thanks for your call, Ibrox. Speak to you tomorrow.
Tearjerker. A tearjerker, loyal, a tearjerker.
Anyway, we go back to where we were. We talked about the Ahmed story, and Ulster, you any thoughts on it? Because we're no experts on it, but money went walkies left, right, and centre. Whether it was a fraud, I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but it was certainly immoral what happened at our club at the time.
Yes, I think if we're being honest, lads, money was going out left, right, and centre. First and foremost, what we definitely know money went on is players for a standard that we didn't need, I don't think, at that time. I think the one that sums it up all for me was Kevin Kyle, and he went in with a figure in his head and ended up getting 8 times that or something like that, when he was well, what figure would you like? And, he came out in the papers, couldn't believe the money was being thrown at himself. So God knows what these other players were on. And so that I just don't think we needed that type of player, those type of players to come, to win the leagues. And then you're going on to other things, which is obviously in the courts. And I think there was talk of between 70 and 90 million disappearing and all. There was all different people coming in. I couldn't even keep track of it at the time. There was people coming in, there was advisors coming in, getting money for this and getting money for that. And as Brid says, there was people getting salaries, getting paid, and the next minute they were gone. A few months later, money going everywhere. And unfortunately, I think people probably do need to be brought to task, but obviously, come to light yesterday, that's not going to happen. But it's one of those things, you can sit and be angry about it forevermore, or you can sort of try and look at what Rangers are now and push on. But I think if there was, well, you would just like to think that people would be brought to book for it. It isn't going to happen, but it's just unfortunate. But a lot of money's went missing out of our club, which is sad to see. But we're in a position at that point as a support that we just had to trust the people at the time to move us on. And unfortunately, it seemed to be that they weren't probably the right people to put our trust in.
I think a couple of people here, I think Mountain Vernon's even mentioned this before, the amount of problems we had just as soon as they told us there was no more money. So all the money that was invested is all gone. And I think that actually included there's something close to 90 million was put out. But I think that also included that 18 million that, that 18 million they borrowed from Ticketus to Craig White. All that nonsense. I think that money was included in that as some sort of debt. But I think Mount Vernon's mentioned this before, that these people just shouldn't be allowed. And if it wasn't for the Rangers fans that actually funding the club, we actually funded that club to a great extent. And,
the fans have been
absolutely
magnificent, mate, through the whole.
The club would just absolutely have died, for sure.
Scunnered and upset, hurt, watching football that they didn't deserve, people earning thousands of pounds, no deserving it, and they're still turning up, putting their hard-earned cash in. And I know we had a bit of a clash with the fans, there was fans with different opinions. You're always going to get that in families have different opinions. But now everything's coming together again, the team's coming together on the park. You can't get a ticket for love nor money. The game against Kilmarnock in the league is sold out. There was times when the 9-in-a-row team couldn't do that pitch.
Absolutely, pal. Quite scary, isn't it? It's really and truly quite scary. It's baffling to someone like me who's came through it, and you saw the way the crowds reacted to certain things. If the Rangers were playing crap, naturally the crowds would go down. I'm speaking of way back. So when we had poor teams, we also at the same time coincidentally had poor crowds. But for this last 5 or 6 years, we've had amazing crowds, just amazing. And it was so good to get back to Ibrox and sit there in front of a full house, And when you watch the highlights of the other games in the league, and you talk about the big one up at Pittodrie, that was the biggest game of the season, they said, and it never got a full house. And I think you've made a comment after our game and something about are we the only ones that get a full house nowadays? And I think that maybe, ironically, that might be the truest thing you've said in a long, long time. That's what I think.
Thanks very much.
No, I think so, pal. I think so. Because it just doesn't look like it. You look around all these stadiums, it doesn't matter who's there. It doesn't matter what team's going. There's huge swathes of seats, stands and everything. When Rangers are there, there's a bit more fuller, but they isolate our fans, and then they don't sell their own tickets. And you see in their stands, where their fans are, huge big empty seats, big swathes of empty seats, and the Rangers stands are full. And why they don't just get a grip of their head and just get it sorted and be done with it?
I don't understand it.
Sorry, pal, I'm ranting.
Yeah. But what I will say is, look, as a part of our history, it was in the real scale of things, it was very, very short. It was maybe a 2-3 year when we had all that instability and we didn't know what was happening and shysters were involved, and we get different people involved now and things are seem to be coming together. People have a different view on that. I'm not saying that the board we've got is perfect. They've made mistakes, but it's all about opinions, just like the football. But they seem to be getting more things right than wrong at the moment. The clubs coming together, the stadiums coming together, the teams coming together, the fans are coming together. It's brilliant, Ulster.
It is, exactly. You know what I mean? I'm not saying anybody's guilty of this, but I think, collectively, as you were saying there about, maybe 9 in a row and stuff, I think at times you maybe took Rangers for granted, when you weren't playing well, maybe you would have fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You sort of fans would have went, I'm not playing well at the minute, but I'll start bother to go, when we're playing again, which always happened because Rangers, that's just what happens. Rangers would always come back, whether when, everything would happen to us. I think that scared a lot of us, made us all feel to be a greater love for our club, if I can say that. And, you felt a bigger connection to the club when we thought, hold on here, the Rangers could be finished, the Rangers could be no more, which was something we would never have contemplated in our lives ever happening. And I think that gave us a stronger bond, and now we're really enjoying having the Rangers, when we come through the leagues, bunged the place out every single game, and now we're starting to see a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. And as you say, the board haven't got everything right, but there's a lot of issues behind closed doors that we'll probably never know about, but the club have had to sort out. And get everything sort of a financial footing where we are at the position at the minute, with no debt, which is great. The team's playing really good football. Mark Allen's doing a great job. Our coach is starting to get things coming together. So, yeah, everything's looking really good for us. And I think it's just, we'll never take Rangers Football Club going forward for granted again, knowing what we've come through.
Anyway, we'll be joined by Mrs. Padgy's toy boy, Mount Vernon. How we doing, Mount?
What an introduction. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Mount.
Hi, Mount. How you doing, bud? All right?
Yeah, good. Some good chat, yeah. What's this weather? What's this weather off at Oxford? Yeah.
You're mid-20s, is that correct when I say that, mate? I'm not being flippant.
Aye.
Right. So, you were just turning into a young man when all this journey started, if you like,
Sure was, mate. Sure was.
So, you've got a different perspective on it than the older bears, because obviously the vast majority of your life, there was twice in my life where we went 9 years without winning the league title, yeah?
Yeah.
So, the success, the club, and then bang, we hit the buffers, and then people fraudulently or whatever, at least it was immoral. But you think ultimately it could be a good thing for the club?
I think it's an interesting idea you've came there. I think what it has done next year, I think Ulster's named it for me. I think it's the guys that took Rangers for granted, maybe not necessarily meaning to, but maybe sort of subconsciously taking the club for granted, are right there now, you know, and they're going to support the club. And I think for me, I think what it has done is, I think I agree with again what you said earlier as well. I think it's united our fan base. Our fan base now have I've never seen as strong as this before. You know, the help and the you know, the Club 1872 thing. There's things like that happening. There's also other things in terms of trying to represent fans as well. With the Club 1872. So no, I think it's certainly going in the right direction, our support, mate. And I think, to get back to your question,
are you a member of Club 1872, mate?
I'm not.
No, right, okay. Just asking. Not move on with that. Just asking. That was all. Just carry on with what you were saying.
Yeah, no. I think that the key issue for me here is that I think that the suffering that we've went through as a support, I think has brought us together. You know, I think the 3 years, not 3 or 4 years, should I say, in the lower divisions, I think is gave us a stronger support. And I think we'll never ever take it for granted. And the custodians of our club will never ever be given carte blanche to do what they want to do. They'll always be held to accountable measures, you know, for us. And I think that's the most important thing for our club.
Yeah, Ibrox. I've been reading in the forums that people are saying about the ground's no big enough because we announced that the Kilmarnock game was sold out today, mate.
Right.
Yeah. You know, sold out. So, that's 2 weeks on Saturday, yeah?
Yeah.
So, obviously you'll be out celebrating. So, do you think the stadium should be expanded? Do you think, any thoughts on it? And is that because of this journey we've been on, in your opinion?
I think you could say it's part of the journey, partly how well we're starting to play, we're starting to gel.
That's a fair point. The football,
we're starting to gel as a total unit with the new players coming in. But I think you said it a few weeks ago as well, Ox, that we could sell Ibrox, fully sell at Ibrox 2 times over. So if we had 100,000 seats in Ibrox, there would still be people looking for tickets, mate, because we're that well-supported club. Everybody loves being inside Ibrox. They love coming to support the Glasgow Rangers. Every second week we play in the league or the cup. So you could say, there could be room to build onto Ibrox, and I'm sure it'd be well appreciated by the fans, and they would, again, sell it out. So it's one of those stadiums that you build and then you can never fill it. We could fill it very easily indeed.
Bridgeman, the unity with the fans, I think the last few weeks the football's getting improved, and in fact the whole match day experience has improved. Maybe that's because you weren't there, but no, well, at least you bought us a bit of luck in the last home game. Do you think that a lot of ducks in a row, we're competing, we're playing decent football, if we're being really honest about it, trying to play attacking stuff? The atmosphere's slightly improving inside the stadium. You notice that against the Hearts. Is that the journey that's caused that, or is it the decent football that we're starting to compete again? Or is it a factor in a lot of things for you? I
think, there is a big mixture, but I think in reality, a lot of fans found their love for Rangers again, and what Rangers stood for, and how in all probability a lot of them just took it for granted that Rangers were there and never bothered too much, and lapsed their interest to a great extent. But that gave me a terrible fright when I saw what was happening to our club, because I listened to Mr. Murray telling us there was nothing wrong with the tax thing for 2 years or maybe more, and I listened to him saying, "Oh, nothing will go wrong," and then out of the blue, so in my opinion, out of the blue, he sold his shares in the club to that Craig White for £1, and we became an absolute laughing stock. No matter what the debt was, no matter this, no matter that, but we became a laughing stock, and as a club, and as a support, because we support the club.
But we're looking
but we
forward
can't fight. I'm saying that, but we couldn't do anything about that. And when the disaster befell us, we made our mind up we were going to go. And we marched to Hampden. I didn't take part in that, but the great Sandy Jardine led it. Marched to Hampden, got the thing started, and everybody started moving on and building and building and building. And everything that's happening is about the club now. And since Dave King came in, there's been a marvellous new belief in the club and the way the club's going. And I think right up to this present moment. And my young cousin wrote to David Murray many years ago, and it was written in the Rangers News. And he said then we should put another, like a club. See the club deck. We should put another 3 decks, and one in the house of Sandy Jardine, and one in the Copeland, and one in the Broomlawn. And that would, if they could do that, that would bring it up to something like 60,000. Well, I thought it was a great idea, but the way you've been speaking tonight there, Oxer, is absolutely right. The interest and the faith in the club now, and the way we're starting to play, and the things we're doing, we all understand Rangers need as much support as possible, and a lot of us fans we've refound our belief in Rangers, and let's get out there and do it, and that's what we would like to do now. Kilmarnock in a couple of weeks' time sold out, and the next one in a couple of weeks' time will be sold out as well, and so on and so on. And the fans will keep coming back. We need a bigger stadium. Simple as that. We need a bigger stadium.
All right, we'll be joined by Fox. Evening, Fox.
Hello.
Hello, how we doing, mate?
Can I just say one thing before we start, mate? On the events you were speaking about, looking at Craig White, and I think Bridge will back me up on this. Because you get found out guilty doesn't mean you didn't commit a crime.
Yeah. Bridge man, we're not guilty expert.
Aye, well, I've said it a wee bit earlier, and I don't know how far you want us to go on this, but I'm going to say this. I hope everybody realises that I mean this from my bottom of my heart. There's absolutely no way in this God's earth that these people didn't have their fingers in the till and didn't commit crimes. Absolutely no way. It was a con all the way through, and all they done was take money. How can you take money out of business like that and no break the law? It's unbelievable. It's just rubbish.
It's quite easy when you yourself contracts, mate.
Absolutely. They made it legal, of course. They did it legally. A lot of it was done legally, and there's not much you can do about it because they've been through the courts. And to be honest, I think the prosecution and the way they've got their evidence together and what they did with this and what they did with that, and at the end of the day, it's just shambles, and away it went.
The clue for me was in the green, then white, then green. We should have known. We should have known, Fox. Fox, that's gone now. It looks as if that's all going to die dead. But if it's no illegal, it was definitely immoral what they've done, eh?
Well, of course, mate. In the case of Green and Ahmed and probably Stockbridge, who you've no mentioned either.
He disappeared quickly, didn't he?
The Crown Office the Crown Office had about 2.5 years to put a case against him, mate. Why, after 2.5 years, was there no crime to answer? That's my question. There should be an independent inquiry into how the Crown Office handled that. There's a lot of shareholders were robbed in this. If I could say the word scam, which they carried out on our club, mate. And I think if it was any other club, they would be having an inquiry in how the Crown Office handled it, mate. But moving on, do you think we're in a better place? I think the support is probably in a better... I thought the support was no fracturing at 2012, but they were beginning to drift away. We didn't have big signings. Walter Smith was doing his best to try and keep things going when he was in charge, and then after that, the finances just weren't there. And our game was all about entertainment. Football was about entertainment, and that was beginning to dwindle. The crowds were beginning to dwindle a bit. But as you said, the fans are now coming back, mate, and it's entertaining football that will bring the fans back. And I think that's why we're selling the ground out now. The fans have got something to look forward to, being able to challenge again, maybe start winning a cup or two, a cup this season, maybe
You
still
never
fighting
know.
it.
You never know.
You never know how in football, and then it could all change even better than it is now, mate.
I'm just saying, if we can win our next 2 league games, mate, pressure's a strange thing. I know you've got to win. We've got to near enough win them all, but you've got to start the journey with the first steps. And so if we can win the next 2, mate, we're sitting there. We could actually be level with them. I think we play before them the following weekend, depending on the rearranged game is. We could actually go level against Kilmarnock. And pressure's pressure, mate.
Could I just quickly answer Fox's question on
there you go.
The Crown side of things, or the Procurator Fiscal side of things? It was my understanding from sort of public articles that I've seen on social media and other outlets that the major factor in the Green, Ahmed and Craig White, the major issues around the evidence was that in the ways that the Crown had obtained the evidence in these matters. A lot of the evidence was at one of the couple of early diets in the court proceedings was inadmissible on some of this stuff. It's also got to be mentioned as well that the Crown prosecution, that was one of the major reasons why they had to drop charges against these types of people as well. I also think in terms of a public inquiry, I think Fox is absolutely right. I think also an inquiry and perhaps in the SFA and the SPFL conduct in these matters as well perhaps would be a good choice as well, because ultimately we are a member club, and that entitles you to a few protections under the government or the governance of the game as well. Our club has been pillared from pillar to post. The authorities in Scottish football again have hung our great club, the most successful club in the country, out to dry when people have let's just say morally tried to take our club apart. Not just for a financial point of view, but for a football point of view as well. I think a big portion of blame has got to be looked at with the authorities that govern our game. I think that's a big part to play in what's happened to our club. But fundamentally, guys, I think what the blame's got to be laid at square. For me, the blame's got to be in the Crown, because ultimately they have not been able to obtain the evidence correctly. Because I believe, again, from sort of social media and other outlets, that the evidence would have been enough to get convictions on these people and see justice done for our great club.
Somebody gets people off sometimes with technicalities.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
The law can be an ass sometimes, Bridgeman. The law can be an ass. Oh,
absolutely, pal. No, absolutely. It's it can be. I agree with everything that Mount says there. And if we wonder if we had someone like a QC. And I know that Larky. I'm saying Larky's been saying that for years. What we could have done over the last short while there is we could maybe even have approached Donald Finlay to actually come back onto the board at Ibrox. We could quite easily have done that. I'm not even sure if he would have done it or not. But that would have given us that legal nous up there. It doesn't matter what everybody thought of us, because they all hate us now anyway. So Donald Finlay would have fitted in quite nicely. Or some other QC. That's what we really needed. And Larky was right. He's been right all the time.
A lawyer. I mean, a lot of accountants and no lawyers. You could see where Larky was coming from. Anyway, we also, briefly, and I don't know a lot about the stock market, apart from where my pension's invested, is Dave King's appeal failed. I don't think that was a great shock to anybody. I think it was just always looked that way with what you'd read in the media. There's going to be papers released within the next couple of weeks to let people know the details of what the outcome has been. So that'll be put to bed. They'll need to make the offer. And I think we'll move on for that. We're all here and we're all picking up vibes of positivity. whether once that's put to bed, then we can move on quite quickly to some more positive news for the club, hopefully. So, I'll go to Mount with that one first, and then we'll go to Ibrox, because I don't know if Ibrox will have anything to say on it. If he hasn't, just say pass Ibrox if it's not your bag. Mount?
Yeah, I think the biggest issue surrounding the case was that I think this procedure, I think that's all really we can sort of label it as the procedure is basically going to cost Dave King approximately £250,000 to £300,000 to put this procedure in place. Now, the case itself, the reason I've had just quite a quick look at the summary of it. The biggest thing for us that we have to look at is basically the Dave King and Three Bears. That accumulation of shares or share that they own is basically accumulates to over 30%. Once that happens in company law, basically, or Companies House Act, the rest of the shareholders have an entitlement to be offered what they call a buyout or a clause to buy the rest of the working shares within the company. Ultimately, what happens is that I think it's like a sort of intermediate or an independent factor basically comes in and says what a fair offer would be per share. And Mr. King has to have what they call like a fenced off set of money so that he can pay for those shares, and he has to show it in an account.
In a separate account. Yeah. So you just get a big Provi check, put it in an account, leave it.
Aye, well, I don't know much about that, mate, but that's ultimately that's what the ultimate crux it is. I think Mr. King's counsel.
What about the first guy if he cast him out to get a Provi check?
Aye. Well, the big thing for Mr. King was ultimately the cost involved with this. You're talking in the region of £250,000 to £300,000. The cost of this, and I think that's basically the legal argument that he's trying to make, that effectively as well, and also the argument that Dave King and the Three Bears are completely separate entities, which I find quite strange, in terms of from the legal standpoint. But I think from what we've been told as well, Dave King's going to be looking to appeal to the I think it's Sterling House now.
Anyway, it looks as if the hunt that it's finished, the concert party, they've got to make the offer. We'll hear what's in the next couple of weeks, and we can move on. Is that fair? Does anybody else want to comment? Because I don't know.
Can I come in on that?
Make it brief.
Can I come in on that?
I'm bored about it.
Well, one of the things the main thing that Dave King was appealing was that they were using his name.
Aye.
And that he personally had to do it, whereas in fact it's a legal technicality, I believe. It's his family firm or fund or whatever it is.
Oasis, I think it's Oasis.
So whatever it is, I think what the Crown or the court recognised that in fact he could use that, he could pay the money through that rather than through Dave King. So I think in a certain way Dave King's won because that's what he wanted, and I think that's what he wanted in the first place. That it doesn't go down its name and so on and so forth. So I think that's all I wanted to comment on. Yes, I think the best thing that could be done now is for all of them to have their meeting, put heads together, come up with the cash, put it in a bank account, issue the offer to all the shareholders, and let's see what happens. I doubt very much. Certainly the ordinary shareholders like myself.
You're not going to do nothing, mate.
No way. You may find that people, it may even be going to get used to get rid of the likes of the Easdales. And I doubt very much if they'll take it, but some of them may do. Some of them may take it just to get away from it all, get some money back.
Ibrox, you ever tried that Oasis soup?
Nah. And this, let's be honest, this subject is above my pay grade. So.
No, have you ever tried that Oasis soup?
No, I've never heard it, mate. No.
You get a roll with it.
Oh, you get a roll with it. Come on, you. I'll let you have it because of my stinking joke girls, right? But there's always so many, come on.
Well, you started the bad joke.
Aye, well.
Anyway, we move on. We look forward to it all being resolved. One chapter's behind us, another chapter's nearly behind us, folks, and we move on, and hopefully there'll be some positivity. So if people want to join us, what's the number, Bridgeman?
The number is 0141 356 1972.
Where else can they phone us, Ulster?
On the same number Bridge just said.
What would that be?
0141 356 1972. And you know what? I don't even need the
Ulster.
What's that, mate?
I don't even need the paper in front of me anymore to read it off. I actually got it into my brain box finally.
See if you look above Bridge, you see the studio, mate, you'll see the number.
I know exactly what he's at.
Or you can join us at rangersradio.online, where Fox or Old School Blue will bring into the call. Fox, Falkirk in the Cup. Memories of Falkirk in the Cup. Well, the last one must be Nacho Novo's goal to win us the Cup,
No, just looking back, mate. We're looking now forward. I think we've got a young, exciting team here that'll absolutely stroll over the top of Falkirk. I don't want to see any changes in that team unless they're necessary, mate. Some of the new signings coming in haven't played for a long time before they came here. And some of them could do the likes of your Martins and Goss, etc. Even Jamie Murphy, if he's fit, need games, mate. There's no need to rest these players. I think we should go out and do a good job on Falkirk, score 4, 5, 6 goals and move on to the next game, mate.
You saying momentum's a big thing, Fox? Keep it going?
Yep. Yes, of course,
I get that. I get that, mate. I get that.
Look, I mean, if we drop players, mate, and then we've got an international break, another useless international break coming in when we're getting some momentum behind this side, mate.
That's after the Kilmarnock game, isn't it?
Aye, but it's coming up shortly. Another waste of space, taking people away for friendly games. You know, them across the city have complained about it already, so they'll not be wanting any of their players, but I'm sure that Alec McLeish will probably look towards Rangers players. I hope he leaves us out as well, mate. I think we should fit a friendly in the international week as we have been doing, mate, and keep this team ticking over.
You mentioned Alec. How did your exhibition go today?
Oh, that nutcase, my pal. No. He was one who go to the shops, mate. I had to knock that in the head, mate, you know.
All right, mate. Common sense prevailed, did it?
Aye.
You short of supplies?
No. As I said last night, mate, I've got more food than I need, mate. So I could last out another couple of weeks.
Bridgeman, the game on Sunday, obviously weather permitting, of course, but how do you see it? If you were the manager, would you rest players or would you go for the juggler?
I would never, ever rest players. Never. Not the way we are at the moment. The momentum must keep going. We must keep building and building and building all the time. And no, I would play the strongest side, which is the side that we started with on Sunday there. If Delton John's fit, then he'll come into it. Or whomever else the manager feels needs to come into it and we think is okay. But seriously, a good team. We played well. We can't complain. We just can't complain. Just get out there and do it. Don't piss about. Just get out and do it. Start off where you want to finish. Get tore right into them. Mollick them. Come on, the Rangers. Oh, where are you already? I'm starting already.
Ibrox, you're the manager. Are you resting players or?
No, definitely not, mate. Momentum's a great thing. We've got it right behind us. I've just been having a look at Falkirk. I usually kind of keep an eye on the Championship football as well. Falkirk now are a very, very average team. They're not the team that they once were. I think at one point, at the beginning of the transfer window, they bring in like 6 or 8 players, mate. It's not did them any good. They're still very average, mate. They're conceding a lot more than what they're scoring in most of their matches. But I don't think... I think if we go in with our strongest team, we play the way we've been playing since, like you says earlier on, since Christmas, then we cakewalk this game because we says the other night before the Hearts game and the St Johnstone game, we play to the best of our ability. I'm sorry, Falkirk are only going to live with, so I'd be going with the strongest team and just hoping that Jamie Murphy is fit enough. If he's known maybe he's got still a wee bit of bruising, then you maybe rest him and you keep him for the more important games to come in the future. So,
what about yourself, Big Ulster? You're the coach. You're picking the team.
Well, if everybody's fit, I'd be playing the same
first and
team.
foremost, we're assuming, yeah.
I'd be playing the same team because we've been down for momentum for years, you know, and we're finally getting it. So to start muddling about with that would be very silly. I could understand if there was a ton of games and a backlog, that's different. But I think the games are spaced out enough that we can keep going with the players we've got. And I think, as the boys have said, momentum's key. And as I say, we're just starting to get that momentum going. So I would definitely keep the same team if we possibly can.
Yeah, man. You're swaying me. What about yourself, Mount?
Yeah, I think there's. I think the boys are right. I think I'm going to say it again. It really comes down to attitude. These type of games. If we get out there and show the correct attitude, show the correct application, our quality will come on. I would maybe be slightly tempted to change it, but I agree with the boys. I think momentum. There's no really. We've got another week, perhaps ahead of recovery. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be going out with a full strength team. Ultimately, that will get us to a semi-final if we get the victory on Sunday. So I think it's a very, very important game. So that attitude for me, Oxford, it's just about keeping that attitude correct. We keep that attitude and that commitment and that momentum, then our quality will outshine from there on.
Right. I mean, if everybody's fit, I would go with that. But if anybody's got any doubt that we could make them exasperate any injuries they've got before next week, if they're key players, I would be thinking about resting them. But if we assume that everybody's fit, I think I've got to go in the Fox camp, which is very unusual for me. On you go, Ulster.
I'd be interested to know, just going to ask the panel meeting, obviously the ones in the lobby there, if Murphy isn't to play due to fitness, who would you have on that left-hand side?
Well, if it happens to be broken and he's gone about for a few weeks and everybody else is fit, I would start with Declan John and Lee Wallace. Declan John in front of him.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Yep, that was mine.
Bridge.
Oops, I'm doing a bridge, man. Sorry. No, I think I would not. If the boy Murphy is unavailable, I would move Windass back out to the left, and I'd bring in Holt.
You're not enjoying this team playing well, then?
I like the team playing well. I think Holt he's a good standby. He'll not let anyone down.
If you look at Windass, even against St Johnstone, when we put him wide, mate, he's definitely becomes.
Yeah, but he's not. It doesn't necessarily have to play. I just mean positionally. You would. There's a slot. You put them in, and you would just use Holt as a replacement. You're not going to be using the left wing because we don't have anyone that's any good in the left wing, unless of course Declan John's fit. You know,
I'm assuming
he could play in place of Murphy and keep Andy Halliday at left back. Or the thing you mentioned there, if Wallace is back, then the manager got a choice. I doubt very much if Wallace is available for it. I doubt it. Too much. Take too much of a chance, I think.
Fox.
I agree. If Declan John is fit, mate, he could easily take over for Murphy. But it's funny that it's all left-sided players that seem to be near fitness or are injured, mate. We've got Lee Wallace, Declan John and Murphy. We're full left-hand side, which had been a weakness for years for us there, mate. And we suddenly get things right, and the three of them are injured at the one time. What's the chances of that, We could, of course, if needs must, mate, probably shove Windass back to the left. I know he was never a star there, mate. Didn't suit him being in that position, but he could stand in especially against Falkirk, mate, you know. Full back, we've always got cover. Who's doing the dishes?
Bridgman.
How is it he can go on mute when he's supposed to talk and when he's supposed to be doing something, doesn't he? Somebody, isn't he?
and they like cup of coffee.
He takes the catering role he's got very seriously.
Very serious, aye. Yeah, well, as we say, we've got Andy Halliday that can cover at full-back. I don't think Falkirk's going to be a serious threat to us, mate. But as I say, on the whole, if everybody's fit, mate, keep playing the same. I'll bet you all the players don't want to be dropped for this game, mate. If you watch that...
Depends on the weather.
No, if you watch that bunch of guys celebrating the goals there, mate, up against St Johnstone, there's a good team spirit amongst them. And I wouldn't break that at all, mate. I think they would all want to play in that cup game.
For sure. Go to Mount then, Ibrox. There was a picture posted, I can't remember where it was, but it was when Russell Martin scored the one. I don't know if you've seen it in the run to the Sandy Jardin in Coltman Road. Yeah. And the picture with the Cummings has just come to jump on them, and the whole team's there. I don't think Tav and Candice were there. They celebrated their honour on the side of the pitch. What a picture. Ibrox looked magnificent. A full crowd, pretty much makes people there right to the death, and the togetherness, it signalled togetherness. It was the team going to the fans responding. Great photograph. What would you do with the squad if you're the manager, and is this togetherness also building momentum?
I think the key thing is, guys, I think it's the winning mentality that they're starting to create within the club. I think they're starting to create a togetherness. I think the attitude's correct. I agree with Graham Murray's sort of analyse of the situation is that we have got very, very talented players. You know, you just need to look at Saturday and Tuesday's game to see that. You know, and the games before that, we've got very, very talented, young, hungry football players. We've got a fantastically healthy bench, a talent, experience, and game changers on that bench. We've also got some really good players to come back in. You know, Jack Dorrans, our captain Lee Wallace. We've got a fantastic quality squad. I think the key thing now is, and I keep repeating it, is attitude. I think the attitude's right. And I think Graham Murphy's managed to find a way of motivating the players to get the attitude to be correct. And I think now we're starting to see if we can get the attitude correct on the park, and I think your quality will shine. And I just think the way things are going, I think it's really, really important to keep that consistency going. But I do agree sometimes that perhaps maybe bringing in maybe somebody like Cummings and Guillen Morales a rest could be a good thing. But again, it's how the manager sees it. For me, I'm comfortable with somebody like Jason Cummings coming in for Morales. I think that's good tactically, and I think it's good to give Jason Cummings a good maybe 90 minutes, so he's sharp ahead of the next couple of games coming up. So things like that could be it could be good, you know.
I think you're right there. Could you mind if I come in there? I've said that.
Yeah.
Cummings must get to 90 minutes at some point. How the manager does it, I don't know. But he desperately needs to play football, and he needs to show that he can play for 90 minutes. Because he comes on for 20 minutes and he sees a bit leggy and things like that, but he's still got touches, he still gathers the ball, still plays, likes to dribble, and he likes to swagger around a bit, you know, because he's just that type of guy. Yeah, he needs to get 90 minutes under his belt, for sure.
Could that be the one that maybe Fox is maybe seeing he's wanting momentum, but we might go with two up front because it's Falkirk, or we might just swap them, but only time will tell. Go to Ibrox lastly, brief Ibrox before we go to tune.
Yeah, I'm just exactly the same as yourself, mate. I think I said it the other night as well. Unfortunately, if Murphy doesn't make it, I'd be bringing in Lee Wallace at left back with Declan John. Hopefully he's fit. I know he says it was a tight groin, but hopefully it was just a precaution and he's fit, and just play him where you would usually play Murphy, because we know he's got the pace and the trickery to play there, so it wouldn't be a problem for us.
All right, if you don't mind going on mute, lads, Fox will give us a tune.
Oh, every other Saturday's my half day off, and it's off to the match I go. Happily we wandered down the Copeland Road, me and my wee pal Joe. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. Me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Oh, we love to see them cry. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. We've won the Scottish League almost every time the League Cups assemble too. We get some exhibitions in the Scottish Cup. We are the cup winners too. When the Rangers win the European Cup, as we've done with the one before, we'll gather round the Ibrox 50,000 strong to give the boys an Ibrox roar. Me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Oh, we love to see them cry. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. Me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Oh, we love to see them cry. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score.
Thank you, Fox. You all back?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Oh, me, oh, my. Oh, how... sorry, guys.
Anyway, so people want to join us. What's the number, Bridge?
The number is 0141 356 1972.
Now they can join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. And what can they talk about, Ibrox Loyal?
Anything to do with the famous Glasgow Rangers.
Right. I don't know if any's picked up about the representation. I hope our youth experts picked up the last couple of days. We've been well represented in Scotland's 19s and 21s, Ibrox.
Yes, mate, especially the Scotland under-19s in the last two matches. I think there's been, overall, throughout the two matches, 9 Rangers players involved. The game today, in opening half hour, young Zach Whiddon get the second goal for us. Apparently he did really well up front with the other young striker that was brought into the Scotland under-19 squad in recent matches. And he just obviously picked up from where he left off against Huddersfield the other week. So I'm pleased to see that, as much as I'm not a great Scotland fan anymore, it's still good to see the youngsters representing our country and bring us back to maybe getting to a major competition again under a very good manager, in my opinion, for the Scotland national team and Alex McLeish. So good times ahead, and you never know, one day they might get me back supporting Scotland again, you never know.
Yeah. It's got to be positive for us, that, Fox, eh? It means that the foundations of our club are getting stronger.
It's always good to see youth being represented from your club at international level, mate. The experience does them well. I think all these friendlies all over Europe have helped bring some of the younger boys on a bit quicker than normal. And I think it's a good sign for the future, mate. As long as we can get maybe 2, maybe 3 every couple of years, threatening to get into the first team, mate. That's the sign of success.
When we go to Stew, I know Bates came for Wraith Rovers, but he still sorted them through the youths. In some respects, he was bought as a young man. Ross McCrory.
Goalies, Boyer Kelly.
Young man Kelly.
They're not there quite yet, but him and the boy Bud Jonas are starting to get close as well, aren't they? You know, that's pretty good. In the next 18 months, 2 years, there's another couple into that. You're doing okay there, Bridgeman, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you're talking about boy Kelly. I think he's a smashing goalkeeper. I've only seen him twice, but I tell you, what I've seen, very impressed with, very confident young man. And I wasn't very happy with Big Wes. Maybe up to about a month ago, it's caused us a few goals, and I think he would be a great second man. I'm not keen on the boy Alnwick, so I think they should start to bring the young youngsters through and find time to give them a slot and get. I don't know whether we can do it this season, so forgive me, but it might be in this sort of League Cup next season. Would be a good time to do it, maybe.
Can I just say something I just missed it there as I was talking about the game earlier, because I was obviously been chatting up because I know there's a couple of under-19 matches coming up. Just the last two matches as well. Young Aidan Wilson's captain the side in both matches, so can I give a big shout out to him? And a player that I'd maybe give a bit of stick to, one of our youth players, but he's certainly come up way up my estimations, is a young goalkeeper, Aidan the Caddens as well. He's also played in the two matches as well, so fair play to him as well. Actually, coming the goalkeeper that I thought he was going to be, and he's starting to look very promising. So big shout out to the two boys as well.
We've seen that boy in Wilson a couple of times, and he's looked very, very cultured when we've seen him, and looks as if he's got something about him. Hi, Brooks.
Without a doubt, mate. I think you mentioned it as well. A good few weeks ago now, after Ryan Jack got injured, and then young McCrory, about maybe trying to play him in the McCrory role as a central defensive midfielder, because I believe, and I think you said it yourself, Ox, that you think he's got the attributes to do the same sort of job as McCrory did.
In some respects, he's even more comfortable on the ball. On you go, Pritch.
No, I was just going to ask, is he not a centre half?
Yes, yep. But
so was McCrory, wasn't he?
I know, but I was going to ask, he looks a bit bigger build-wise than McCrory. I thought so anyway. I don't know how. What's his height, Ivers? Do you know?
I'll check that out for you, mate.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll be joined with somebody who knows something about playing in midfield. Is that Blue Shadow?
It is indeed, my man. How we doing, man?
He doesn't know anything about playing anywhere. He doesn't.
Who was talking about putting Windus back out the left-hand side earlier, Bridgeman?
Just to get him in. Just to get the boy in, that's all. Just a makeshift. It was just makeshift. Oh, you know, on that Shadow, you know...
The rest put out there, is it, Bridgeman?
No, there was two choices. There was two choices. I would have said he could have paid Windus out there, because we were speaking about who can play on the left. You could also put Cummings out there, truth be told. That's all. It's just to get somebody in, that's all.
Just shows what you let a centre-back talk about fit bod at Oxeye.
Oh, no.
Sorry, banged to the heat, mate.
I mean, they old balls with the laces in them when they got wet, you know, Jesus.
Well, do you remember them?
I'm old man trying to give me one. I said, no chance,
The old T-bladder. Yeah.
Tomlinson's T-ball.
It was somewhere just next to you, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Tomlinson's, wasn't it? They made
Tomlinson's, yep, party.
Used to get a size 3 for the kids. I only remember a size 3 and size 5, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well, there's a size 4, mate, yeah.
I'm saying I only remember the size. I got a size 3 when I was a wee kid, and obviously I went on with that and lost it or whatever I did with it. And the next thing I know, I was playing a size 5, you know, so... Didn't matter. But bloody, you're right, as Shadow. See, when I hit you in those laces, oh my God. Sore.
Wet.
Oh, a ton weight, wasn't it? Ton weight. Somebody's no dubbing the ball.
I only made the mistake of heading one of them once.
Anyway, what's on your mind, Blue, apart from this man's tactical genius?
Aye, well, moving on from the tactical genius as Bridgeman, it's just like that. I'm quite keen on the young players coming through, and I mean, there's several knocking on the bridge. And what sprung to mind while I was just before I came on, was it not Elfadildo or Dido, whatever you want to call him, that came on and said it was this under-15s group that's coming through like a couple of years ago, and these are the boys that we're starting to see coming through at the Scotland squad.
Oh, you're right, mate. He did. He said there was a right good group there, and he's spot on, wasn't he?
He knows. He certainly knows his youth football, does Elf, and he's still doing that website of his old RFC youth. It's always worth a read.
Aye. What else on your mind, mate? What else?
The other thing that was quite interesting was you said about playing a strong team. You are remembering it is Falkirk that got that bloody awful 3G pitch.
It's Ibrox, but...
Is it Ibrox? That's not so bad then. I was sort of horrible feeling it was that horrible pitch of theirs.
No, it's Ibrox, but I'm a bit sceptical about it'll be on right enough.
You just have to wait and see. They can't tell. I mean, it's supposed to be coming in. It's supposed to be pishing doing it weekend down here, so we'll see what happens.
Aye. We might get melled there, but I don't think it's going much above freezing in Glasgow. Big Ulster, the youths and all the foundation at the club and all these boys playing for Scotland, and
yeah, that's great.
It's happened quite quickly.
Yeah, this is it. This is what happens when you lay the right foundations down and you start doing things prop behind the scenes and getting the right men involved, to help with the development. And I think I know there's issues there between the support, obviously, from Scotland who do support the team, but we have to look at it in the bigger picture. For those players, their confidence will go through the roof, because that's good recognition. They get picked for your country, and it proves that whatever you're doing for a club level is catching the eyes of other people as well. They see something in your game that can obviously help the national side. So it just shows you, everything behind the scenes is going well. And I hope every one of them have a great career as Scotland players, to be honest. I wish them all the best, and it's great to see. And I think you'll also see that in the first team as well as next squads come along. I think you'll start seeing more and more Rangers players getting the navy blue shirts.
I mean, at the moment in Scotland, if I've been really honest, Bates, Murphy, anybody else?
Graham Dorrans.
He's injured.
Yeah, young Greg.
Oh, you on about that player?
Greg Docherty. They'll be in McLeish's first squad if Alex is really honest about it.
Yeah, I totally 100% agree with you on that, mate. Yeah.
See, from a slightly...
What's the bet he picks about 6 Celtic players just for spite?
See, from a purely Rangers point of view, I know it's a slightly different debate, but I really don't want to see any of our players at this crucial time of the season
mental
being away in a pointless friendly. Me personally, I have no real interest in Scotland, but I really have no. I understand, obviously, that it's a pride for the player, and also, like you can see from a point of view, it's a pride for the club. However, it just feels at this time it just seems a very, very pointless time to have a meaningless friendly. During the running to the end of the season, I just find these things absolutely stupid, to be honest with you. Just my observation, Oxygen. And I really don't wish to see any of our players get injured or to be fatigued.
No, listen, mate, whether they're in the squad or not in the squad, I totally agree with you that I think Fox mentioned it earlier on the show, mate.
Yeah.
Another meaningless friendly. What really browns me up is the fact that there's no games for 2 weeks, mate.
It's staggering. It's staggering.
And I don't think it's popular with any football fan, really, apart from people who just go to international. Big Ulster. They use the same debate over by about the international break.
Well, I'm not a big fan of it myself. I think everybody's the same frame of mind, and it's a crucial part of the season, as you are saying there. It's the big run in the games, and no club side wants to lose players at any time, but especially not when you're going for the trophies and you're going for the leagues at this end of the season. But at the end of the day, I think Alex McLeish will probably be a wee bit selfish, to be honest, and rightly so, maybe from his point of view, because it's going to be his first run of games and he wants to get momentum as well. So just got to wait and see. But if he overlooks a few players on the Rangers basis, I'd not be too disappointed. But same as it's the other side. If they get a pick, they hope they have good games and hope they all come back, the Rangers injury free.
But look, can I just say, if it was the same manager, if there hadn't been a change of manager at all, if it had been the same manager, and okay, Rangers are improving and they're getting better and better, I don't think they would have come near Rangers. I don't think any intentions of playing Rangers players, in my honest opinion. They've shown a massive reluctance over, even when Wallace was playing really out his skin, he was playing really well, probably one of the best left backs in the country. He never got near it. Their attitude was he's not playing the top league, blah, 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 a lot of crap, And then as soon as young McGinn starts to show a bit of form, he's straight in. Never mind whether he's no in the top league or no. They bring him in and give him a cap. So a lot of crap in a lot, in my opinion. But now that they've changed the manager, all of a sudden they think, Rangers players are going to be in. I don't want any Rangers players to be in it. Let them go and do it with their own, whatever they want to do from before, and let them make their peace with Rangers in another way. Sorry, guys. It's only my opinion.
Well, it's up to the players, though, Bridge, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It's an emotive.
Of course, I don't want to stop any.
I get it.
I don't want to stop any player from getting a cap. Right? Representative football is very important to every player, for sure.
I get it, how your fan base feels, but I think things will move on in that front. I don't know if it'll ever be healed, but I think it will move on. So we'll see where it takes us. Good stuff. Ibrox, thanks very much for digging that out.
No problem.
Yeah, foundations. Our squad, is it strong enough for you, Mount, at the moment?
It's getting there, mate. It's getting there. I think if you've got to consider the amount of injuries we've had this season, again, you could probably link that to another debate, with the refereeing situation in Scotland. But I think the quality, I was thinking about it there. We've got likes of Ryan Jack, but we've kind of forgot about. We've got Graham Dorrans to come back in. We've got, just in midfield, we've got Dorrans, Goss, Docherty, Holt. That's just the centre of midfield. We've got Ross McCrory in there as well. So we've got strength and depth in a lot of areas. We've got a good couple of left backs. We've got, Declan John, the club captain as well, Lee Wallace. We've also got James Tavernier. We do have Hodgson. My questions are I do have a question over Hodgson, I'll be really honest on that situation. But Candias, get real good options all over the park. I think hopefully if we can get the boys that we're looking for, the loanees to come in and sign permanent deals, hopefully if we can get some money, and hopefully the players we're going to go for is players that are going to add real quality and real cutting edge in the real areas for us. Maybe a top draw centre half, a top draw striker, a 25-30 goal a year striker, perhaps maybe another type, just a right good quality player. If we can keep the nucleus of this squad, I really do see us just really trying to improve on top of what we've got, and I think I am really, really pleased with how the squad's looking if we can get the injuries back, Oxcha.
Aye, alright. Hi, Brooks.
A bit like that. We're fine right now. I know we've had some injuries, but some of them are coming back, as he says, like my club captain, young McCrory and that as well. But Sunday, no, it's only rumoured, but I think it would be a catalyst for the start of next season if we can get Steve Davis back in that midfield, mate, because the guy's still got a good couple of years football left in him, and it could be a springboard for your team for the start of next season as well. And as Mount says, bring in a quality centre back and unfortunately, I think if Morales gets into the Colombian World Cup team, we're going to lose him to England, maybe before the start of next season. So again, as Mount says, another 25 to 30 goal striker there, mate. And I think we've got the nucleus, a very, very exciting squad for me for the start of next season. Along with like some of the players we've got just now on loan, signing permanent deals. So
thanks for that, Ibrox. Thanks for that. We'll see where it takes us, mate, and see how things pan out. But I think what this journey has taught us, folks, you don't get too carried away with the ups, and you don't get too upset with the lows.
No, of course not, mate. What I'd like to see is Dane gone towards the summer, mate. I think the first thing we should do before we bring MD in is get rid of the players that no longer will be used at Ibrox, mate. Instead of spending more money on bringing other players in, I'd rather see a bit of the budget used to pay off or come to agreement with certain players who have still got a wee bit of time left in their contract. They're never going to get games at Ibrox, some of them that's still left in that squad. Then we can pick the best out the development squad and bring them into the first team squad. See what cash we've got left and add a quality by whether it be in defence, attack or midfield, mate. That's a good squad, a good basic squad that we've got there. The boys are all playing for each other. There's good harmony in the dressing room. Get rid of the ones that maybe start to moan and cause discontent in the dressing room, mate. Rid of the rubbish first before we bring in the quality, mate.
I'm sorry there.
Have you got any examples?
I was doing a bridge.
On you go, folks.
We've got players in the squad that we know aren't going to make it. Dalshaw, etc., loan, he'll be going away. You look about Cranker, end of contract, be gone. Kenny Miller will be gone, mate. But there's some other players. Jordan Rosser is still young, mate, at 21, but we've had him for 2 years and he's never kicked a ball for us, mate. We need to make a decision on whether we keep paying for his health bills, mate, or we decide to cut our losses and get rid of him, mate. I don't know, you would do. Herrera needs to go. Michael O'Halloran, who doesn't look like he's going to get any near the squad. Let's pay these, come to an arrangement with them. Hodgson, let's come to an arrangement with them and get them away, mate, and see the sort of money we've got left to bring in a bit of quality. As I said, we can augment
Crancar will be still one of our highest earners, mate.
Well, this is what we've got. You've heard me rumbling for him, mate, that he's thinking about chucking it. So we've got to get rid of that to allow room to bring in maybe 2 or 3 out of the development squad that are showing real promise. The way McCrory was brought in, you don't know until they get in amongst the good players, mate, whether they can make it or no. As I say, I'm just hate to see us over-bloated with players that aren't going to play for us.
Question for you, Foxy. Based on what you're saying at the moment, the guys that we've got on loan from the previous transfer window,
yep.
My thoughts are that every one of them will be signed up and paid for. That's what I think the club will do. No, I'm saying everybody's thought is different. I think they'll go for them. I think there's 4 of them. But that would be a nucleus of another fresh start, for a lot of players. Obviously add to the wage bill. But I agree with you, there's some of the players that are there, they have to go and go quietly. As quiet as possible, let's put it that way.
That's the hardest bit of modern football.
Absolutely, bud.
I mean, whose contract's up, Ibrox? Do you know by any chance, mate? I know
Miller's is up, Cranshaws is up.
Hodgson, I don't know how much Miller's on.
Wilson's wages are
how much is Wilson on Loyal? Oh, sorry.
Right, Ibrox.
And Wilson's money's in obviously the back in the wage budget as well, because we never spent the Wilson money, so that's still thin me. I believe, as Fox says, Dalchill's off. I think we'll probably see the end of Michael Harlan and that as well. So there is going to be a good bit of a wage budget there.
Is his contract?
Oh, his contract's not, mate, but I'd imagine it'd be away in the summer.
But the problem is, mate, it's proving. I mean, he's going to stick with us for a year, wage-wise, rather than go to St Johnstone, isn't he? Because we've been about £5,000 a week, as I'm guessing here. I mean, it's £250,000. He's going nowhere unless he gets another club that's going to give him similar.
See, the big thing for me is...
Sorry, on you go, mate.
The big thing for me is, I think you're right in terms of getting all the deadwood out. I think they tried to do that a wee bit in January, but I think there'll be a big, massive clear out at the end of the summer. But I think that some of the boys are right. I mean, some of the wages some of these guys must be on, and that'll free up a lot of money as well for us to go and reinvest as well. So, no, I just, it's all positive, mate. For me, it's all real positive, you know.
I should say Cranky or Miller. Hodgson, his contract up.
He's got another year, mate. I think he's got another year.
Then we've still got, as Fox pointed out, your Dodos and
Halliday, Forrester.
Aye, all the Warburton sort of signings there.
See, when you think about how big some of the players we've got, I mean, there's Forrester, man. There's a blast of a pass, didn't he, wouldn't he?
Who gave him? I mean, Warburton.
Oh, man, I know.
What was that, a 4-year deal or something? Where did he come through? Blue Shadow.
Oh, I mean, I always got the impression the guy had an attitude problem, and it appears to be, it's fairly confirmed. I mean, I can't remember. I think it was Fox had said he spoke to him and said that he's going nowhere. So in other words, he's going to take every penny he can of us, because I don't think he thinks he's going to get a contract anywhere else. And the reports that are coming up from, I can't even mind where it is.
Wimbledon, AFC Wimbledon.
AFC Wimbledon don't seem to be outstanding neither, and that's not exactly the highest level of English football, is it?
League 2, innit? League 2.
I think it's League 2. I think you're absolutely right there, mate. So if he can't make it at that level, then he's just going to sit on his backside and take every penny he can out of us, unfortunately.
Your version of Bobo Baldi, basically, then, eh?
But he's still got 2 years.
How long is his contract, Shadow? Oops.
Oh, off the top of my head, mate, I couldn't really tell you.
I think it's 2 year.
It is 2 years.
Yeah,
I thought it was 2 year last year. It's
Let me check that.
Did they not sign the deal?
We signed it round about the sort of Peterhead game in that Black Cup final, round about then.
Aye, so that would be what?
That was 2 years ago, wasn't it? So
he's got another 2 years still to serve, hasn't he? Jesus, I know. I actually think the boy's quite a good player, actually, you know, as it goes. But I think he's, as you said, boys, it's the attitude again with somebody like him. You know, he just seems to have a foul attitude. You know, good ball player, but
he's got the skill if he put the effort, and he could be a decent player.
Aye.
Well, I've got the exact date here. It's May 2019. He's here, eh?
Jesus. Another year.
So he's got another season to go, basically.
The rest of this year and another year and a...
Yeah.
Well,
that's one of the ones you could... I was going to say, that's one of the ones you could come to an arrangement with him, because he's only got 12 months of his contract, so, you could leave him and he wallow and take the money, or he could say, here's half the salary, away you go and find us a new club.
He'll sit and take the whole bloody lot, mate, I think, anyway.
I wouldn't be surprised. Nothing would surprise me, but at least it's one of these ones you could deal with. It'll only be 12 months. So what we're going to do for 12 months, well, son, it's up to you. You can sit there if you want, but we know you're not going to be here next year. So bye, no matter what it is. And if he's just going to sit there and take the money, then there's nobody going to look at him. Not that anybody's looking at him now, truth be told, but he needs to do something for himself. That's the way I looked at it anyway. Sorry, boys.
I just can't believe Warburton gave him a 3.5-year contract. I thought it was worse. I thought it was 4, but 3.5 years. What was he thinking about?
He must have been laughing his tits off, because me and Bridge passed him at the Aberdeen game, the last Aberdeen game of last season at Ibrox. And he's sitting there with all the plans and all that. Oh, Harry, what's going to be happening? And he goes, oh, don't worry, I'm going to be here for a long time yet. And I'm like, no, you're no. Absolutely ridiculous. Do you remember that, Bridge?
So you were wrong again, Ibrox?
No, Forrester was wrong, mate. He's out, mate.
Maybe we could get him to do the thingy. Maybe we could get him to cut the grass at Ibrox or Rock Howie or something. Get his wages working somehow. Do you know what I mean? Instead of him sitting on his backside. Do you know what I mean? Get him out doing
That'll
the
be
grass
ridiculous.
cutting.
I'm sure that our director of football will be able to negotiate with these players. There's got to be another few in the same bracket. Joe Dodu. I mean, that's another one. We don't know what's happening with him. Is he given the same deal as?
He got a 3 or 4 year deal, I think, didn't he?
I'm saying that, so he could have the same thing. So, sorry, folks. Sorry.
No, I'm saying. I think he had a
4-year deal. I think it was with Dodu.
Aye, I mean, he's got to have 2 years at least left. I reckon. You know. I mean, it's just Jesus, man. I don't think we'll see this under Mark Allen. I don't think,
And we've still got, I mean, the thing is, we've still got a load of money to spend on the lads that we've got on loan at the minute, getting them in. Was it 1.2 million on Murphy?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was 1.2 or 1.8, I can't remember which.
1.2, yeah, I think 1.2.
It was 1.2, but I heard a rumour it's went up a bit since we couldn't pay it off in January. I don't know how much truth there is in that one. But, and then we got £600,000 for... Cummings. So that's all got to be paid off, innit?
If you're doing a business plan, mate, the crowds at Ibrox, you must be bringing in what, £200,000-300,000 more than you're budgeting for when you've done your plan at the start of the season on average. Blue Shadow.
You'd certainly hope so, but I'm always a bit worried of what I mean.
You couldn't assume that the ground was going to be full every week, could you? If you were doing your plan. You'd be over-optimistic then, we know where to go.
Well, remember, this was at the start of the season. It would have been when Pedro was coming in and you were bringing in, and they backed him all this money. So they were hoping that they were going to have a good season, and they were hoping on European money.
Yeah, that went quite quickly.
Yeah, that never quite... No, that didn't materialise.
But if you were doing your planning at the club, obviously you're right, that would have been factored in maybe May, June time last year. But quite quickly you've got to change it. And they wouldn't have thought that every game was nearly going to be a sellout. You couldn't have seen it. Nobody'd seen it coming with how bad we were at the start of the season.
But would they have done with the fact that they were spending all this money and they were expecting to be successful? So and also they've lost the Euro money, so the figures are going to be similar. And there's also as well the fact that, again, it's the truth that a lot of the players that we got in are on pay up.
You've also got to factor in Blue Shadow as well. We're looking at a lucrative short deal now.
That's another thing. Which that's a new revenue source certainly.
We've also got probably record season ticket sales probably going to be coming up as well. You've also got to factor in a new and improved commercial deals as well with our partners. I do believe also part of the agreement with Sports Direct that we cut ties at the end of this season. So there's a fair chance as well that we can certainly look at the commercial direction as well. So I think I'll be honest. I think we're really getting towards that time where we're starting to really get back on our feet. If you consider our rivals have had these type of facilities and these type of business streams as well, I think it's going to be an incredibly, a credible boost to the coffers for us going forward, mate.
I hope it will be. But it's allowing that. I mean, I would have hoped in January actually that we'd have brought in somebody, a retail expert, to go over, so we'd have a plan ready to go. That come the end of the deal with Sports Direct, that we could, just implement it virtually there and then, and then we'd be making a hell of a lot more money than we would under the present retail deal. You'd hope.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Let me just take this one, and I'll come back to you, Bridge. This will be quick. Right. Who's your preferred kit supplier? Ulster?
I'd go for Adidas just because the ref.
You're class. Blue Shadow?
I'd bring it all in house and get it made to Rangers' own specification because you'll make more money per unit.
I think we've tried some of that before. Mount Vernon?
Adidas.
Fox?
Best deal for the club, don't care who it is.
I agree with
Ibrox?
Fox, actually. I'm changing my mind.
Nike.
Right, just do it. Why is that?
I just think they're a great manufacturer, mate.
Plus they make good goalie kits as well, didn't they, mate?
Aye, alright.
I know they make good goalie kits.
Right.
Aye, they're good for it. They're always good for goalie kits, so they're...
Pridge, who was yours?
Admiral for me.
Admiral? Are they still in the go?
I'll go for Admiral. I like Admiral.
They are still on the go. They've just been totally revamped as a business.
Yep.
I have a lot of new
Like
Admiral here. I like them as well.
Fall back Adidas, I must admit. I'd fall back on Adidas.
Do they not sell their stuff in Toys R Us or Admiral?
Toys R Us.
Don't do that. That's so nice.
Yeah, Admiral. Alright, okay. So Adidas, the Fox's idea. Yeah. Alright, okay. Bridge, you were coming in with something?
I was just wanting to ask the lads a question, and the boys in the lobby as well. I think it's quite a poser. It may be very simple, but the answer, I mean, I don't see the budget for next season being agreed until such times as a share issue's done. And they can't do a share issue until we get this issue with Dave King's, shall we say, offering the
mandatory offer.
I don't know how long that's going to take. It's purely time oriented, you know. So that might take a month or two, and then they've got to get the share issue to do. That might take a month or two. So we might be cutting it fine to have the big money that was supposed to be coming into the club basically now through the share issue. So we might be a couple of months behind, and that may impact on how the budget is and who we could go for if indeed we're going to go for someone extra. Just thought I'd ask the question: does anybody think we will have problems based on that, or is a share issue a non-event?
I think it's going to happen, mate. I don't know when.
No, I was meaning, is it? I'm talking about for the money, because it's depending on the budget. I would suggest it's a budget, and a lot of money will be involved in investing.
I'm putting a lot in 2 and 2s together here, Bridge. I think the board know who they're bringing in, mate. That's how they got that resolution passed. Blue Shadow.
I've no idea what they're up to, because we're just not getting enough information to draw realistic conclusions from it, for me.
Fox?
Sorry, I missed the question there, mate.
When you go, Bridge, ask Fox.
No, but I was just asked the question if all the share issue that was supposed to be all done, and the monies was into the club, and that would give us some money for investment in players. But based on what we've heard today, Mr. King's got to do his share offer, and then we can only after that's done can we do the share issue. So it might be, shall we, time constraints on us to actually pass a decent budget or get a decent budget set up for next season. I just wondered if you think that will happen like that, or will we just go ahead and do it anyway and buy the players? I just don't know.
I think the season ticket money will go into the playing side of things, mate. I think the share issue will take more today, and I don't know whether they'll pay some of the money back in loans to the directors that are out of pocket at the moment. But the share issue strip deal, I wouldn't count on a European run. A wee bit like Ox said about the crowds that's coming in. You've got to have something up your sleeve, and I wouldn't count on money for Europe. That'll be a bonus. Anywhere we get in Europe will be bonus money. So for me, it'll definitely be the strip deal and the season ticket that'll improve the playing squad. Does that answer your question, no?
Yeah, thanks. And just something to ponder. It's just something to ponder. That's all. I think it'll be a big impact on whatever monies are available to purchase players, and I'm including the boys that are on loan. So I know we're sitting here, we can sit here and say we want another couple of really good quality players to be added. I don't think we may not have that money because the share issue is not complete. That's all I mean.
Could I come on that?
On you go, huh?
I think it's a paper exercise, Bridgeman. To be frank and honest with you, mate, I really do. I think it's a paper exercise on paper. I think there is slightly more to it than just saying it's a paper exercise. I do agree with you, but I think it'll be a completely separate issue from the club. I actually think the record. I think there'll be a record. I think we'll see record sales on the strips. I think we'll see record sales in season ticket money. I think the merchandise and the commercial dealings, I think we'll see records in that as well. I think we'll see great quality coming out as well. I can really see us gearing up to have real good things in the superstore and perhaps maybe going forward maybe getting other units such as maybe in Edinburgh, Glasgow and Belfast, maybe even London as well, other places where we can maybe exploit commercial things for us. I just think the Dave King thing is a separate issue, mate. I really do. I think it's a paper exercise at best. I think majority of the shareholdings are not institutional investors, so I would see no reason why they would want to sort of take Dave King's offer up.
Expensive paper exercise, but
indeed, mate, into the tune of £250,000 to £300,000. But it's probably going to. Again, it's just another hurdle for our great club to go over, but we'll get there, Bridgeman. We'll get there.
See when you say
I think it's a double hurdle.
See when you say record season tickets, mate.
Yep.
We don't have much to go with season tickets.
Yeah, mate. That's what I'm saying.
Do you think the price of the season ticket will go up?
I think it should. Again, it's maybe not a popular view on here because it's a Flans platform, but I think it should. I think it should. I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be. Be crazy money. In top of it. I'm not talking £200 or £300 in top of a season ticket. But what I'm saying is perhaps, something like maybe £50 per season ticket in top of it. I don't know what the numbers that would give us, but I'm sure it would give us, a good commercial. It would give us good commercial.
2 million roughly.
Yeah. So perhaps it's maybe worth a. If we were to sort of do a poll of the season tickets on the platform, I certainly wouldn't mind doing it with my season tickets. But again, everybody has their own sort of personal view on that. But it's just how I see it, I
don't know how they could do it, but I'd like to do they give all the season ticket holders one share.
Yeah.
So they become not just customers, they become shareholders, if that makes any sense. Blue Shadow?
Well, you could quite easily just create shares that don't have voting rights.
Right, it'd be good for the. I think it'd be good for the. I know kids can't have shares. I think that's illegal on it.
Aye, I think it is. But so I think I liked your idea of if you get a season ticket, you get a commemorative scarf or something.
They should do something like that for me. It's a no-brainer, mate. Just a special something every year that they get 40,000 of them made. The cost would be about a tenner.
If you want to raise money, then it would have to be club led. But I would look at one of those membership schemes, the likes of Bayern Munich have.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want to raise money, that's the way to do it.
Could I make a small suggestion? I know some of my sort of family members have tried to get tickets for down south and stuff for games and stuff, just as visiting, London or Manchester and some of the local teams down there. What tends to be the case for you to get a ticket for Manchester United? You've got to be, I think it's Club Manchester or Club World or something it's called, where you've got to be a registered supporter, and there's a fee every year for that. And again, I think it entitles you to sort of access to certain things. I think you get what they call like a starter pack thing, where you're getting like a sort of certificate being part of the Manchester United sort of supporters family, things like that. I think something like that perhaps would maybe be a good opportunity for overseas players, for Christmas presents, birthday presents, things like that. And again, it's maybe a good source of revenue for the club as well.
If I could just I think it's a wee bit overcomplicating it to start off with. You might want to come into that sort of thing in the future. But I think an easy way to start it off would be to create that membership thing. But for example, it gives you 5% off in the club shop or it gives you, you know, a 5%, and do a deal with Strathclyde Transport. It gets you 5% off your, or 10% off your tube fees or something. So you're using public transport to get in and out, because they'll, you know, especially if it's
reciprocal offers, like a reciprocal offer across the board. Yeah, I know, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Oh, that sort of thing. That's the way I would start it off, and then you can look at adding additional things as you go on, which may be popular with various, you know, to bring new people in.
Yeah, definitely. Oh. Ibrox, would you think of that, mate? What's your thoughts on that, mate, on the Manchester United concept?
The people I know go there usually end up getting their tickets with touts, mate.
Yeah.
What Hackers on doing in England, you know, they're more used to the idea of touts, mate, particularly the London clubs, mate. It's frightening.
It's just also my experience. This sort of, you know, there's sort of people shared experience, you know, with other clubs. I think something like that would be, you know, I know Big Al always talks about the merchandise and other things that he could buy, you know, buy into type of thing. So something like that maybe be, you know, a great opportunity that we could maybe look at. I agree with Belushi. I don't think there's more on pressing things at the immediate, but it's maybe something to look at going forward, perhaps, you know.
I get the impression they're looking at every avenue, mate. I mean, whether it'll all come to fruition, you don't know, but they're looking at every avenue, you know. But we'll see what it takes.
I think they were very interested in that suggestion or proposal. Somebody stood up in the AGM and says we should sell separate shares in both the Ibrox Stadium and Auchenhowie. That means that the fans could invest in that, gives them an extra money to run the club if they wish to run the club, but they should never be able to sell it because the shareholders won't allow it. Type thing, you know, it keeps it away from any danger. Both environments, and I think the board were quite keen on that idea. They never thought of that when they said, "What's that effect?"
Of course,
pretty good in it actually.
Of course, they're keen on that one, Bridge. It doesn't dilute their shareholding at all, does it?
No, what I'm saying, yeah, but the existing shareholders, that has to be worked out, because the shareholding that you bought shares in Rangers, which includes Ibrox Stadium and the Auchenhowie and everything about Rangers. Whereas what they're saying is they need to extract that away from it and somehow or other build a share base on both of them, and only the fans have access to it. That's the way I interpreted it anyway. Whether it works out like that or not, I don't know. You know.
Right, well, they can. I mean, the fact was that it's more about the Ibrox pitch, I believe, than the actual stadium itself. And Auchenhowie, as far as I'm aware, it can't be sold off. There's a clause in it somewhere where it can't be sold off for development anyway. So, you know, if it gets sold, you can't.
Yeah, that's only development. But that's only for development. Right. The club, if the club fell into the wrong board hands again, just for saying sake, they could use Ibrox and Auchenhowie or one or other or both as means of getting loans. In other words, it would be equity, isn't it?
Totally understand.
I think what the guys.
Sorry, Bridge. You finish off what you were saying.
Go on, pal.
No, well, totally understand what you're saying, but the fact is, especially with Auchenhowie, who else would buy it if you can't develop it?
No, they wouldn't be able to use it as part. It was to stop people being able to use it as equity. That's number one. Was so that they couldn't use it as I'll go and get a loan and we'll use Ibrox as equity for it.
So you've got effectively you've got something that isn't actually, you know, yes, it's worth money.
It'll not be owned by the club. It'll not be owned by the club. That's, I think, what it's about. I believe so anyway.
That when Chelsea done. Chelsea done it. That Matthew Harden done it with Chelsea, didn't he?
They sold the pitch off,
they sold the pitch to the fans, didn't they, in squares, so that they've always got on the pitch, even.
Well, that's what I say. If you divide that pitch up into about 100,000, 200,000 shares and charge them £250 each, that's a lot of money.
It's a great gift, though, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's a great gift.
Well, it secures the club as well, but it also brings a huge amount of money into the club that the club can use to do a number of different things. You know, hopefully, as one of them, bring Ibrox, the whole of Ibrox, back up to the standard which we would all hope to see it in.
Yeah.
A lot of that work's taken when you're trying to there wasn't money spent in the stadium for roughly 10 years, mate. It's a big beast. A wise man says
it's a lot of money in it.
Aye, you've got to stay on top of that maintenance-wise,
Absolutely, pal.
I think it's got to be said as well. I mean, if you listen to what we're talking about, earlier on the show, we're talking about the things in the past, but it's good. It's really good now that we're talking about, kit deals and sponsorship and, great squad, great playing squad, and some of the deadwood's going to be out. It's just great to be talking about the football, and I just really think the club is moving in a very good direction. Oxfordshire, I'm just really, really proud, and I just thought on Tuesday night there, it was just a right Rangers performance, that's what it was, and it's just, we're getting back there, mate. As Bridgeman says, it's just keep it going, but we're really getting back there, Oxfordshire, for me.
And you can guarantee Mark Allen's is working his little socks off, working what he's going to bring in the summer.
Yeah. Just all positive stuff, mate. It's just all real positivity, and hopefully the Dave King stuff we can get that out the road and get just talking about the football,
Well, if he does a job like he did in January, it can't be bad.
Yeah, defos, mate, defos.
Improved the team by quite a high percentage, but we're not going to that because Ibrox is no longer with us.
Percentages, no good.
Ulster, how are we going to handle all this positivity if it happens?
Well, we deserve it. That's one thing. We just enjoy it. Some cracking ideas are from the guys, and I'm sure that the club behind the scenes are looking into all of them and see what's probably viable to the supporters. Hopefully, they pick out a couple of good things that we as support can buy into, and if that means securing the stadium to the support or giving out shares, whatever way, it's all good. And I think the positivity around the club at the minute is fantastic. And as I say, we deserve it. Like, it's been 6 years of grinding and pain and on all the rest of it. So let's savour the moment.
I said, one of the things I'd love to see is to bring in a proper retail expert and get this, a proper offering put up, like things we talked about months ago, like because you used to get bedspreads, curtains, you name it, Ag Fox said, to bring up, like the polo shirts and other stuff for people who are perhaps of a more senior vintage and didn't want to be wearing the strips anymore and stuff like that, I think we've got to bring somebody in to sort that out for us.
It's not just about all the strips, is it? It's about other things that people want to go and buy, all the trinkets, all the wee things for kids and all that. Just that revenue stream it dried up. It's pretty
absolutely, Ox. I mean, the thing is, if you bring in a professional, he'll save you more than you spend on his wages because he knows all the people to go to get the quality that you want and at the price that which is it'll be agreeable to supporters and stuff like that, So that's why I think we should get someone in, myself.
Yeah, well, anything that's going to improve and ultimately makes money. Just go back quickly. Just want to touch on it again. If it was cost effective, would you raise the capacity? Yes or no, Ulster?
100%. Yes. If it's yep.
Yeah, Blue Shadow.
If it's cost effective, raise the capacity, but I'd also raise the amount of hospitality as well, because that's where there's a hell of a amount of money in that too.
Mm-hmm. No.
100%. Yeah, I would. I think the demand's getting there. I think we're seeing it at commercial level and obviously at season ticket level as well.
Bridge.
Yes, of course, absolutely. I don't know how they're going to do it. It may have to be a new stadium, but never mind, do it.
If it's cost effective, you've got to speculate, accumulate. Fox?
Yep, absolutely.
If it was cost effective, yes, mate. Can I just say some of the ideas that people put up now, everything always seems to be about the fans putting money in, mate. When are Rangers going to give something back to the fans for all their years of loyalty through all that shit we just came through, mate? I think they should free season tickets for 2 years, mate, and give the fans something back.
Fair shout, mate. Fair shout. The fans maybe deserve it. Anyway, you all deserve it tonight. Round of applause to yourself, Sticky Night. No, a lot of news, obviously. Things broke yesterday. Can I thank you for taking part? Time for shout-outs. Big Ulster.
Yes, just everybody who's been listening. Hope you have enjoyed the show, folks.
Blue Shadow.
Well, just to say thank you to the team for a fantastic performance the other night. It's been a really great show. Some really interesting ideas being put forward by a number of different people. So keep it up, lads, and onwards and upwards.
Mount Vernon.
Can I give a big shout out to all the emergency services and all the people having to get and work in these atrocious conditions? A big shout out to them and a big shout out to all the Rangers supporters all over the world.
Here, Fox.
Good night, thanks for listening.
The one and only Bridgeman.
Oh, I'd love to echo everybody's shout-outs, but I'd just like to say it's been a really, really bad couple of days weather-wise in Glasgow here, so should possibly be another impact at the weekend. But we're Rangers fans, and for all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here, on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, please keep it going for the Rangers, because we need it. Keep it going.
Here, Bridge. Can I thank everybody for joining us the panel here this evening? That would be Fox, Bridgeman, Mount Vernon, Blue Shadow, Big Ulster, Ibrox Loyal, and Darryl, who phoned in earlier on this evening. Thanks to everybody who took part in the lobby this evening, everybody for listening. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 9 and 11 o'clock. Take it away, Fox.
Well, I took a trip to Ibrox, my favourite team for to cheer, where they were playing the Glasgow Celtic on the first day of the year. Now the ground was filled to capacity as the teams come out to play. The animals sang the soldiers' song, and the people sang Dolly Gray. Now half-time it came and went in, the Glasgow Celtic were in the lead. Finian Tully was running everywhere, shaking his rosary beads, while the green flags, they were flying high. Celtic hearts were full of pride. The second half, sure it started, and the Rangers, they turned the tide. Won't you play up the Glasgow Rangers? Oh, play up the boys in blue. Oh, play up the Glasgow Rangers. We're here to cheer for you. Now the ball goes out to Walker, and from 30 yards he did score. Sure you couldn't hear your ears at Ibrox Park, for the sash my father wore. Oh, play up the Glasgow Rangers. Sammy Cox is on the ball. He slips it through to Willie Woodbarn, then on through to Ian McCall. McCall to Billy Simpson. Oh, here come the boys in blue. Well, Simpson beats the Celtic centre half, and in goes number 2. Now the Rangers fans are roaring. Jardie Young, he takes a free onto the head of William Simpson, and then goes number 3, while it's 3-1 for the Rangers. That was the final score. A happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Celtic once more. Yes, a happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Celtic once more. Yes, a happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Fenians once more.